Afternoon and welcome to AROBS H1 2025 results call. My name is Susanna Kurek and I'm Investor Relations Manager at AROBS Transylvania Software, and I will moderate today's call. Before we begin, I would like to mention that this call is being recorded and that the recording of this teleconference will be uploaded on AROBS website by tomorrow the latest. As stated in the call invite, by joining the video conference, you automatically and implicitly consented to being recorded. If you do not consent to being recorded, please leave the call. Firstly, I would like to introduce the management that is here with me today and will present the results for the first half of 2025. I am joined today by Wojciech Opran, Chairman of the Board of Directors and Chief Executive Officer of AROBS Transylvania Software, Aurelian Diaconu, Executive Director, Software Services, as well as Bogdan Ciungradi, Chief Financial Officer. In terms of organizational aspect, we will follow a standard call setup, which means the management will deliver a presentation outlining the results for the first half of 2025, and later we'll host a Q&A session. Please note that all the participants should be on mute. If you want to ask a question, please type it in the chat box. Feel free to do so during the call, and we'll answer all the questions in chronological order as soon as the presentation of the management is over. Last but not least, as always, I would like to mention that we might be making forward-looking statements today during this call regarding future performance of AROBS, and that actual results may differ materially. We encourage you to review the disclaimer that we have included in the presentation, which you can right now see on the screen. This disclaimer applies equally to all statements made in today's call. I will now pass the floor to Wojciech Opran, who will share with you insights about our performance in the first half of 2025. Wojciech, please.
Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for this Investor Relations Conference. I would like to emphasize a few of the aspects of H1 2025. It was not an easy but I guess through the operational efficiency and financial discipline, we were able to diversify the business model. We also continue our international expansion and acquisition, and we demonstrate group ability to capture opportunity in this high potential market. We did enhance our software product portfolio to the acquisition of SVT, a provider of both software solution and hardware equipment, with the exposure of more than 75,000 equipment in all Europe, and enhancing the distribution network in Western Europe with the potential to come up with other solution and other distribution channels for our flagship product, which is Track GPS. We also enhance the software service portfolio. We expand the US market on the larger scale through an acquisition. We completed the Codingscape acquisition after more than 8 months of discussion negotiation. Codingscape is a technology consulting and software development company, mostly for enterprise customer, and we informed the press through different channels about capabilities and what they can add together with AROBS on the US market. Also, we continue our work in the strategic digitalization and of the project in Romania. We are working on implementing major initiatives with the House of Public Pension and the Babeș-Bolyai University. We are also preparing for a newly project for National Employment Agency, consolidating in this sense the group position as a trusted partner for public administration. So all the 4 aspects helped us to continue and present kind of what we did and what is the future. Looking ahead, on the other side, we want to emphasize the international expansion through rapid integration of acquisition, investment in emerging technology, And here we have three verticals where we are targeted extensively: AI, cybersecurity, and big data. On the proprietary software development, we consider them as a priority in ensuring a sustainable competitive advantage and strengthening the group long-term positioning, especially because of those proprietary software are one of the key bones of the organization, with securing with big customers, securing customers with intensive ARR, so annual recurrent revenue in those proprietary software. It's a really important aspect that we would like to emphasize. AI, it's everywhere these days. We consider it as a performance accelerator. We are enabling fast testing, quick time to market, and transformation of idea into scalable digital solution. We just launched also the playbook from vision to MVP in 1 month, AI powered, and we are addressing many customers with our vision. It's an accelerating prototyping for our prospects and for our customers. Proof of concept in a week, MVP in a month, helping customer validate business idea and reduce risk of long-term implementation. On the other side, we continually mention several times about Romanian digitalization. We are working to enhance all the digitalization projects with rigorous implementation and interconnectivity. We are highly inspired by Estonian model, and we try to emphasize and to create kind of open platforms for allowing authorities to exchange data between different solutions, which is something that it's not yet in the system, but it will be definitely a big differentiator for Romania compared with some other countries. On the other side, AROBS is leveraging all the 25 years of experience, initiative, and solution that we validate in EU and North America to drive Romania digital transformation system to the next level. We are involved in many projects of digitalization, and I guess that's one of the key elements. As you already know, we cover three aspects, but we'll come later on with those software services, software products, and digitalization projects. So those are the three pillars that AROBS, where AROBS is developing and core competence. Going further, few key indicators. We increased the H1 compared with H1 2024, the turnover with 4%. EBITDA it's plus 8%, that reached 31 million. RON, operating profit, it's 14 million, plus 3% compared with H1 2024. And we are having cash and cash equivalencies of more than 200 million. Services, we invited this time Aurelian Deaconu, who's in charge with the software services area, and I'm more than happy to let him to discuss and present some of the key figures in the software services. Aurelian?
Yes, hello everyone. Thank you, Voica, for the introduction. I'm glad to be here and to have the opportunity to expand on the topic of the software services evolution. And I think it's quite clear that we are navigating a very challenging market context. And our result for the first half of the 2025 reflects simply this reality. It is clearly that most of the results or the correction that we have had, it's due to the very, very difficult context in the automotive sector. And if we are looking for reasons for what are the main drivers for this results, for this context, I think it's clearly that we have on the automotive sector an overcapacity, being on the industrial side of the things and also on the R&D side of the things where we are involved. I think the context is difficult for all the European producers. We are now trying to use this expertise that we have acquired over the years in different other industries, such as the defense industry and the medical devices. And for this segment alone, those are the most important focus groups that we have as of today. We are betting on sometime sooner or later that the automotive sector will have a comeback. It's hard to say when and what will be the impact, the positive impact. But as of today, I think we have to have a conservative expectation regarding the automotive sector when we are speaking about the European OEMs. I'm happy also to report that for the other business verticals where we are active as of today, that we have proved to be resilient, and we have proved to be a solid partners for our customers. And we are grateful for their trust, for their business that they are doing with us. We don't see as turbulent times that we have seen even today as in automotive. So things are a bit more stable, but definitely we are navigating into a context where the highly volatile environment, be it for geopolitical reasons, being for new tariffs that are, imposed these days, or many other reasons. Definitely, we do not see as many opportunities as they were in previous years. So we have to be mindful about that, and we have to be conscious about the fact that the environment is far more volatile and far more uncertain. Now, speaking about the future and what we are expecting and what we are investing our efforts and our determination, Voico has alluded to United States. This is our main focus in terms of strategic focusing on the American market. I'm happy to report here that we have expanded the sales team that we have over there, direct sales teams, but also with our new colleagues from Codingscape, we are happy to tackle new segments of the United States market. And the signs that we have seen so far are quite encouraging. We expect a solid growth in the United States and a kind of stable evolution on all the other markets. Another element that I would like to emphasize these days is the hot topic of AI. I'm really happy to say that we are planning to launch quite soon. Along the way, we are building and enhancing our capabilities on the AI sector, but also we are very close to launch 2 new products that have AI on its core at the very beginning, and they are embedded. The AI is embedded in these new 2 products, and I guess sometime until the end of this year, we are going to be ready for go-to-market. It's hard to say about the adoption of those new products, but those are going to show our capabilities, and we really hope that we are going to be able to help our customers and potential customers to expand their businesses as well. 2 other key elements that I would like to emphasize, it's also the fact that we are expanding our capabilities on the cybersecurity. This is a vertical that we are looking forward still for the years to come, not only for the local market, but for the international market. And we hope that cybersecurity will prove a solid growth vector for us. Also, I would like to add here that we are expanding and enhancing our capabilities on the big data, because we really do believe that in the years to come, this will be the backbone for vast majority of the projects that we are going to enjoy in the near future. Pretty much those are the elements that I was looking for emphasizing into this brief conversation. I'm happy to dive into more details on the Q&A section. Thank you.
Thank you, Aurelian. I would like to continue the presentation with the software products. Software products consist of all the products where AROBS or companies that are owned by AROBS own actually the IP. Revenue from this segment increased by 23% 3%, reaching 46 million in H1 2025, accounting this year for 21% of the total turnover. Our strong performance confirmed that our product diversification strategy and continual investment in proprietary products are delivering results. And those are one of the differentiators for AROBS since many years. When we started together with the software services, we also added the products with the IP, and where we show, to the market and everywhere that we are able to develop products and capitalize and get good profitability there. The performance of the newly acquired company, SVT, will be reflected in the software products has been reflected since May 2025, but we are not seeing the full integration and performance until the second half of the year. So going further, I would like to emphasize the integrated systems, which is the area where the revenue reached 28 million, driven by execution of hardware infrastructure delivery under the contract with the National House of Public Pension. As I mentioned, that's the third pillar for AROBS Group, and this performance demonstrates the group ability to capitalize the public sector and digitalization projects. In July, also AROBS joined a delivery of integrated IT system for ANOFME under PNRR, further strengthen our role as a trusted technology partner. I also got a question from Vlad, and I would like to address this here, that share of the contract is pretty low. We were there just for only few sites. It's maybe less than 10%. We are actually a subcontractor of because the main contractor is another company. So on the plus side, I would like to mention that we were shortlisted on the governmental cloud project, and that is a strong indicator that AROBS has a capability to deliver large-scale strategic digital infrastructure solution for Romania. So I guess that's about all the three pillars that we have right now. We'll continue with the Q&A section later on after the financial presentation.
Thank you. I will now invite Bogdan to take over the presentation of the consolidated results.
Good afternoon. Thank you for joining our quarterly results presentation. H1 was a good half year for AROBS Group. The turnover increased by 4%, driven by the integrated system segment and by software products. The integrated systems, as already mentioned by Voicu, contributed with 28 million, while the software products grew by 23%. Software services segment revenues decreased by 15%, reflecting the slowdown from the automotive, which we anticipated in our budget for this year. In terms of profitability, EBITDA reached 31 million, plus 8% compared with the similar period from last year. We continued our cost efficiency measures and optimization of the operational structure. We took very much focus on the personal expenses as SOP programs, and all these actions and measures contributed to a 14% EBITDA margin for the first half of the year. Looking at the quarterly performance, we see that in the first quarter of 2025, we had a jump in the revenues. which is driven by the integrated systems project seasonality. Their deliveries are significant in values, but they do not occur every month or every quarter. They are registered according to the project plan and to the deliveries of the big projects they are involved in. Expenses, we took them as tight as possible. We keep them under control, ensuring that we preserve the margin and we continue to have a good operating performance. Breaking down the performance between the organic and the M&A. M&A meaning the companies we acquired since we become a public company, so 2021. The M&A companies have a significant contribution in the first half of the year. Their turnover amount to 86%, mainly contributing on the software services revenues. On the software services, they had a 57% weight in total revenues, so they are over the organic business. On the software products, the main driver is it's still the business that we have on the organic, but start to have a better contribution also from the M&A. SVT that joined our group only in terms of financial performance only starting May. We will have in the second half of the year, we'll have a full contribution to our performance. Software services, as I mentioned, minus 15% overall turnover. It's the automotive sector, mainly the driver for the decrease. With all the efficiency measure we took, we managed to decrease also the cost of sales by 13%. On the other hand, we start having a contribution from other project, the digitalization project from Babeș-Bolyai. It's registered under software services in terms of revenue contribution. The results of the newly acquired company, Codeinscape from US, will only be accounted in our group P&L, starting with the second part of the year. The transaction was finalized at the end of June, so we only have the balance sheet impact at the mid-year. Software products, 23% increase, strong demand for the fleet management, HR, and business optimization solution that we have. Also, cost of sales increased slightly lower than the revenue, so only 21% increase. This gave us an improvement in margin from 51% last year to 52% this year. Integrated system, yes, we have the flagship project with the National Public Pension House. They have a good contribution to our performance, both in terms of revenues and margin. The project will be finalized in Q1 2026, so we will have also in the second part of the year deliveries and revenues recognized, and also beginning of next year. Sales and marketing expenses, we invested according to our budget in a greenfield in the US in order to expand the sales team that we have there and to strengthen our capabilities to sell on the US market. Also, we have a contribution to the sales and marketing expenses from the companies that we acquired last year and the beginning of this year. So they also are part of the 2 million RON increase year on year. On the other hand, on the general and admin expenses, we kept the same level as last year, even though we have an additional 1.7 million in cost, which is related to the company InfoBest, which was acquired May last year. So we only had the cost for 1 month last year, and this year we had for the full half of the year. Despite the EBITDA growth, we saw a slight decrease in the net profit of 0.6 million year on year. Why? Partially because we have an increase in the depreciation expense. We commissioned the new HR platform. So it's a new solution, web-based, and also we have the completion of the new headquarters that was finalized in the second quarter of last year. Also, we saw, I think the whole market experienced the fluctuation of the currency exchange. In the second quarter, we saw a jump in the euro parity against RON. And also we saw that the USD lost in the parity against euro and against RON during that period. With our approach on managing our financial position, we had a positive impact from the euro depreciation because most of our savings were linked to euro. So we managed to have a natural hedge against the financing that we had also denominated in euro, but we took an impact from the USD fluctuations because we had also a cash position in USD in order to finance the acquisition of Codengscape. In terms of the balance sheet, we have a solid cash position, over 200 million RON, after we had the payments for the two acquisitions, SVT Electronics and Codengscape. We had a strong net operating cash flow of 46 million in the first half of the year, higher than in the first half of the year 2024. And the total assets increased by 4%, adding following the recent acquisitions. The 2025 outlook, operational performance is on track. The H1 results are aligned with what we budgeted. As I said, we saw the volatility of USD RON parity, and we are now analyzing the impact on our US operations. In terms of budget, for the time being, we keep the budget. Of course, we'll reassess it of Q3, looking very closely at the FX trends if they persist or they stabilize. And in terms of focus for the second part of the year, we are looking for the operational integration with Codengscape and support the development across all the business segments, but preserving the operational efficiency.
Thank you very much, Bogdan. This concludes the presentation of our results for the first half of 2025. We will now open the floor for questions. If you would like to ask a question, please type it in the chat box. For the sake of those who will be rewatching the recording of this call, we will be reading out loud every single question individually, and then the management will address them one by one. I see we already have a lot of questions, which is great news. So we can start the Q&A. The first question is, Can you quantify the impact of the stock option plan on the second quarter of 2025 and first half of 2025 EBITDA? I will pass this question to Bogdan.
The impact in the first half of the year was around 4.6 million, and the impact for the full year for the current ESOP programs, it's around 7.2 million RON.
Thank you very much, Bogdan. The next question: do you use artificial intelligence for development of your software? If yes, how much of your software is written with AI? Aurelian, would you like to address this one? Thank you.
Yes, of course. We use AI on the daily basis. We have extended program for offering licenses, professional licenses to our colleagues. But I would like to say from the very beginning that we encourage them not to become prompt engineers, but to preserve and enhance their skills for developing the abstract models, understanding the business logic, and use AI as a tool, not as a replacement. Because if you use it like this, you can be replaced anytime soon. So in that respect, I think we are different from other organizations that we want to use AI. We want to be part of our solid growth, but we want to be a tool, not something that will replace the people. Yes, a lot of initiatives on the AI side, together, few of them together with our clients, few of them related to our software products that I've just alluded to a few minutes ago. And for the most part, we use AI also for developing and bringing the coding phase in a faster and more reliable way to the market. So I guess the most important element for us is the productivity, and we have witnessed so far an increase of productivity, and we are striving to increase that productivity even further.
Thank you, Aurelian. The next question: are you still looking for new acquisitions, and when will you start putting profitability first? I will ask here Voicu to address the question on the M&A strategy. Thank you.
We are still looking for new acquisition in both product and services to expand our footprint in both product and services, as it was agreed with our on the last capital increase with our institutional investors. So we have a plan to increase further and to expand through acquisition. To the second question, when we'll start putting profitability first, profitability should be there, you know. So actually, as you saw, we are facing some different impacts from the market, from currency. Fortunately, we were not under the impact of any taxation in the US, for example, because Europe products are now facing 15% taxation. So software is exempted from this, and that's a good element because software is in all the area, and that's the area where we can emphasize and continue to expand even in the US market to add our software capabilities or also our software expertise in various areas.
Thank you, Voicu. The next question: revenue from integrated systems came in quite low in the second quarter of 2025. Could you provide more detail on what drove the lower revenue recognition this quarter? Was it related to project timing or other factors? Here I will pass the question to Bogdan, maybe with the help of Aurelian.
As I mentioned, the project on the integrated systems, they are not linear. They depend on the project plan, on the delivery milestones, and this is why we had a significant delivery in the first quarter, and we will also have on the second part of the year. And the project, the main one with the pension house, will be finalized in the first quarter of 2026.
Thank you. The question about the national...
Yeah, I would like to add here Timing is really important, and from working with government, sometimes there are projects that are delayed. I guess I present in some podcast or any information to the market these kind of challenges where we face. For example, we started with the initial valuation of 1,500 different that need to be calculated, and suddenly in the same time and budget we were expecting to deliver a double number because of some politicians come up with a different idea. So we need to be very careful here about cost and delivery, because any project with the state, it's subject of sometimes delivery time and we might get penalized for being late with the project. That's the shares of the contract with the National Employment Agency, which is the second question. I guess it's less than 10%. I already mentioned it was responded earlier.
Exactly. Thank you, Voicu. The next set of questions. On the software services, did you lose any big clients in automotive? Or is it simply ongoing clients placing lower order levels?
Yes, I think this one is for me. I would say, on the contrary, we have won new contracts, new clients, but the main problem is that there is an overcapacity. I can give an example. Porsche has reported a decrease of sales in terms of number of units in China, because China is the main problem here, of 64% at one moment in time this year. Of course, the numbers are dynamics. So it's clear that we have an overcapacity. Not to mention, when we try to understand what is happening in the automotive, let's think about the 180-degree turnaround in terms of the electrification. We have, in the previous years, we have had one of the top teams in Romania and in Republic of Moldova, because we were present also there, on the electrification. We were very happy at the time. We were thinking that, this trend is going to continue for many, many years to come. These days, where are those projects? A lot of those projects are simply stopped. So that's one of the key factors that are driving this correction in the automotive sector. So yes, new clients, but the clients are having orders of lower demand if you compare it with the, let's say, 2 years, 3 years in the past.
Thank you, Aurelian. How much revenue and EBITDA are Coding-Scape and SVT going to bring in annualized? I will pass this question to Bogdan.
When we acquired the companies, we mentioned about their historical profitability. So that should be the guidance of the minimum that we expect also for the future.
To add that we are not trying to forecast anything, but that's a good strong indicator about each of the turnover of the company can generate on both top line and bottom line. Of course, we try to add synergies and to emphasize the presence of both companies. One, the presence in the US, where which is a very competitive and also a very lucrative, I would say, market. And for SVT, I would like to say that the synergies are mostly in the area of penetration of our track GPS solution to different other markets, especially the Western Europe. All the data about Coding-Scape and SVT are public data, the historical data, and I was warned not to do any forecast that is related to, I would put it this way.
Thank you, Voicu. The next question, can you break down the year-on-year revenues growth in software products by price and volumes?
I would like to add here, because our colleague is not present, in the software products. We have few areas where we are active, but the biggest chunk is in the fleet management, localizing vehicle, the area where we have the biggest chunk of the products. Is maybe more than 70% in the products are consisting of this management, where we done in the past, I guess, 3 or 4 acquisition before the capital increase. And also SVT, it's a big, being also a hardware producer and opening a very development, very other area, it's an important factor for the future. The solution for the personnel, for the personal management, for the payslips, it's also, as Bogdan mentioned, was capitalized, I guess. It's is the solution where we launch a new product. We are at the end of the investment, and now we are implementing the solution on a completely new vertical, which is the small and medium-sized companies. And that's the area where we see potential also grow in the HR, in the solution for HR. I would focus only on those 2 products.
Thank you. Going forward, for the current integrated system contract, you mentioned that you are a subcontractor. How much of your share of the contract was booked as revenues in the first half of 2025, and how much is left to be booked? Perhaps here, Bogdan, if you can offer some color on this.
We are subcontractor on the last project we won with the National Unemployment Agency, and nothing was already booked because we just won the contract as a subcontractor, and the project will be delivered in the next 9-12 months.
Thank you. The next question, do you have any concrete plans regarding entering local BET index and international stock market indices? So I can take the question to give you a little bit update on the BET inclusion, because there is, we have positive evolution, let's say. As some of you probably know, there is one of the issuers included in the BET index that recently did which had a shareholder doing a takeover procedure, buying shares back from the market. I'm talking, of course, about Purcari. Consequently, their free float has decreased significantly. Right now, it's 12.5%, and their weight in the BET index is at 0.2, just 0.2035, in fact. And if it was below 0.2%, the stock would have been automatically excluded from the BET. So that, of course, makes things more easy for AROBS. As you remember, there is some math that has to be done on a specific date at the end of the revision period, but it shows clearly that, in my view, that stock sooner or later will be excluded. And AROBS is one of the contenders to indeed replace Purcari, which I think is good news. It will depend naturally also on liquidity. As you know, we have 2 market makers, so we take this very seriously. We cannot, again, the liquidity and market capitalization, these are things that are not necessarily fully dependent on us, but we are very much focused on that and following the news. So just wanted to give you this update. Yeah. We can go to the next question. Can you give more details on software services environment? When do you see stabilization? What are the main challenges you are facing, and what is the strategy going forward? I think this is the good question for you, Aurelian.
Indeed, it's a very good question and a very broad one. I'm not sure how much time do we have, because we can stay on this topic at least until tomorrow morning. So let's touch briefly. I already touched the subject of automotive again briefly. When it comes to the software services environment, generally speaking, I think there are several factors of influence, several mega trends that are affecting us. And I would say that one of the most important ones is the geopolitical and geoeconomical instability, tariffs, and all the globalization challenges that are faced by various companies that are our clients or the clients of our clients that are now in some dire straits in some cases. So until this landscape will become much more clear, I don't think that the companies they are going to have a very solid appetite for investment, for expanding, for reinventing themselves, which is a very important cycle. And of course, we are ready to help them, to support them with our knowledge and expertise in doing that. Another very important trend that we have witnessed in the previous years was the fact that a lot of companies were becoming more and more conscious about budget. So there was a lot of pressure in terms of the budget, in terms of the prices. And one of our main competitors, India, that is, was one of the geographies that could capitalize on that. And what are we seeing now? We are seeing that including India, it's in a very, very complicated correction mode. All the large companies from India are reporting somehow downward figures, which suggests that this is a problem that it's affecting not only the low-cost supplier, but also, let's say, the one from the Western Hemisphere. And that suggests also that underneath the shiny presentation of the governments around the world, the current market conditions are not that great. And I think this is one of the main factors that affect the demand for the software services. What are we expecting? We are expecting to sometime in the near future to become again a solid growth to come to the market and to be fueled by the AI incorporation in the products, the AI being actually embedded in the kind of the new businesses that are going to emerge. What are we doing for that? I've just said a few minutes ago about those three main pillars for us that we want to build and enhance our capabilities in the key areas such as big data, cybersecurity. And also we are focusing on the United States market because definitely this one, it looks to be in a far better shape, and it used to be, and I think it's going to still be the main driver for innovation across the whole economies of the Western Hemisphere. These are, in just few words, few of the things that we are seeing, few of the things that we plan to do, and I think we are ready and capable to deliver these objectives.
Thank you, Aurelian. And we have two questions about the SOP. I will read them together. So what SOP plans do you have for the near future? And considering the downward trend in AROBS share price over the last 12 months, do you still consider these types of actions like SOP appropriate? I will invite Voicu to address the question.
SOP, especially in the IT area, are a key element in people recognition and people appreciation, especially if they are related to their evolution or extra step that they are doing. If you remember the early days, about 4 years ago, I actually gave almost for free at the nominal value shares to a big number of people in the company, and our plan is to continue the SOP. And I'm not going to mention the fiscal reasons, but which are, of course, a key component or important component. But also the strategy with the SOP plan is the one that we are going to discuss with the other shareholders and with the key players from our shareholding structure.
Thank you very much, Voicu. We now go to the next set of questions. What is the current defense vertical revenue share in total services segment, and what are the expectations on its development in the coming years?
To mention here that it's for the time being it's marginal. But as you know, there has been kind of movement from the automotive sector to the defense. For the time being, we are talking less than 1%. So we are testing the water, as we said, for trying to see where we can add value in those defense vertical. Because mostly, you know, if you consider cybersecurity and defense, that's a different topic, I would say. But mostly we are focusing on the area where we can complement with our skills, with our capabilities, that segment. So for the time being, it's marginal. As soon as there will be, you know, as requested by the BVB for reporting, we'll let the market know.
If I may add something to this one, at least two flavors. One is that the moat around this business is quite high. Just think about it in order to ponderate here the expectation of our investors. Think about, in many cases, you may need some licenses in order to be accepted on that project. And this is something very different in opposition with the projects that we have had and we have as of today in automotive. And also think about the fact, the second flavor that I would like to add, think about the fact that all of those shiny projects or funds that are announced by the government, including in Europe, are mostly going to the hardware, not always to the software. So the quanta of the software or the R&D, generally speaking, inside of the defense structure expenses is going to be somehow modest. So please bear in mind that when you factor the expectation regarding the defense. Yes, it is a highly scalable vertical for us, but we should have in mind all these elements as well. Thank you.
Thank you. As for the automotive vertical, are there any contracts with Chinese EV companies?
Let me say very clear from the very beginning on this topic. China is not making a secret that it's having a program called Local for Local. So they are obsessively going in sustaining the local automotive producer, local OEMs with the local suppliers. And then you have the linguistic barrier, because not all of them, all of the documentation, it's written in English for various reasons, including the competition with Western Hemisphere and so on. So it's very, very difficult to penetrate the Chinese market. I'm aware about a single example. It's a big player in the automotive industry. This is Continental. And they are not as happy as you would expect to, because they do have struggles in terms of adapting to the local market, being accepted as a bidder for various RFPs and so on. So it is a very, very difficult market to access.
Thank you. The next question, regarding the big data, what are the expected margins for that branch compared to other key prospects such as AI, cloud, and cybersecurity?
I would say that they are in line with all those other specific domain knowledge that we can present to our clients. We just think that this is just an enabler to other integration, being horizontally or vertical. So we are not attracted to the big data market just because of the margin, but we are attracted because of the sense of integration that you can bring to the table to your customers together with the big data, or starting with the big data in any case.
Are there any updates on the Indonesian market in the software product segment?
Point here for my colleague Ovidiu, that is not in this presentation. There are some updates. So Indonesian is growing quite okay. That will overpass all the other countries soon, I guess. That's Moldavia and Hungary for the time being, and that's there we are facing a different, completely different market. That you know, we are right now, I would say. And as we cannot say, forecast, or we cannot provide the forecast, I guess it's important to know that it's an important, or it can become an important market for us. But that's a market that is highly price sensitive. It's more price sensitive than the Romanian one. Its proximity to China, it's also really important in the terms of hardware and also the services. So it's a competitive market that we'll try to address this.
Thank you. Are there any concerns regarding national digitalization projects due to the tightening of the state budget? And what impact on the tax expenses is expected on the P&L?
I would address this as, we are facing, the local, say, realities about digitalization project. We don't know yet about tightening the budget. So far, we are riding the wave as it is right now. About tax expenses, Bogdan, maybe you know, or you can respond to the second half of the question.
The measures already implemented by the government are not impacting us directly. We'll have to see this second package, how will go out after the voting and approval by the parliament, and then we will make an assessment.
Thank you. The next question for Voicu on the M&A activity. Are there any concrete M&A activities in the pipeline for the remainder of the year? If you can comment on that.
That's a continually pipeline for the M&A activity, and we are carefully select the target, and we analyze various areas in both, as I said, product and services. In the area where they can enhance our capability to deliver or to attack different other market segments where we don't have presence. So yes, they are concrete, and we'll inform as soon as the market will we sign, actually. So those are the areas.
Thank you. How come the Babes-Bolai project is recognized on the software services and not integrated systems segment? What is this project revenue impact in the first half of 2025? Maybe this question will be mixed for Aurelian and Bogdan.
I think essentially it's a software services kind of project because it involves development, coding, that is. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter where it's reported. It's important to be successful and to be delivered in time and based on the expectation of our customer. So yes, it is in our department, let's say in our group, but it could be in any other group. Again, what is important is to be delivered on time and on scope.
And in terms of revenues, it's around RON 1 million, the revenues registered in the first half of the year.
Thank you.
Out of the total value of the contract of, I guess, 10 million euro, kind of, plus minus 10%.
10 million RON. Yeah, it's around 10
million RON, yes.
of the total project revenue.
Thank you. The next question, can you comment on coding space impact in terms of revenue and EBITDA? Since you cannot give estimates, what were the historic figures you mentioned? I see only $15 million in annual revenues, no comments on profitability.
The profitability of historical profitability of Codedscape, it's in line with what the current group, AROBS group, has in terms of EBITDA margin.
I have the figures here. It's about 16% for a year, and we emphasize $15 million US dollar revenue for historical data.
Thank you. Can you give us more details about the US Greenfield company? Is it related to any specific industry vertical? What is the expected revenue profitability impact, and when is that expected to be seen on the financials?
Now here, I guess I'm getting more and more deeper to the, the operational way for some reason. I don't know if Marianne is in the field of IT, but I would be more than happy to, to get more background, because definitely an investment, it's an investment. We invest, it is, we create a company, so all the way to structure the greenfield, it's around investment and monitor the investment particularly. It's under the radar for the time being. I guess it's doesn't really make sense to specify as a certain number. Of course, it impacts the bottom line, but we are expecting the revenue by the end of the year to come with at least contract signed or contract and starting some delivery with that area. So we started at the beginning of the year, and we need at least a year to monitor the data.
Thank you. The next question. You mentioned solid growth prospects in the US for the software services segment. Could you share the current regional breakdown for software services revenue? Also, could you elaborate on the timeline for this expansion and which specific verticals screen favorably? Will it be enough to offset the automotive vertical headwinds in the midterm?
Again, we are lucky to have such smart questions and such extended topics. Solid growth in the United States, yes, we do expect. We see a lot of opportunities, a lot of conversation coming from the United States clients or focus on the United States market. The current breakdown, but it is the dynamic figure, right? According with all this movement that we are doing, integrating Codingscape and so on. I think as of today, and Bogdan, please correct me if it's not accurate, it's around 25% plus.
With Codingscape, it would be over 30, 32.
32. So that's pretty much the ballpark that we have as of today. So it's significant, and we are planning to expand. Now, in terms of the timeline for expansion, remember we have already a sales team, direct sales team, the investment that Voico was mentioned also. And also we have the integration of Codingscape. So we are active on two fronts, organically and via the acquisition. The timeline, it's very important for us. We are striving every week, every month, and every quarter and so on to bring new opportunities, to secure them, and then to start delivering as soon as possible. But again, we have to be mindful about the context, about the current environment that it's in the market, including the US market. So count on us to be very mindful about the fact that we need plenty of those opportunities and to secure them as many as they come. Will this be enough to offset the automotive? I think with the acquisition of Codingscape, we are pretty much in that ballpark, hard to say. But again, we are looking to grow even further and to add new projects and hence the revenues accordingly.
Thank you. The next question, yes, our analysts very much are interested in the Greenfield project, but I believe we already addressed, it's a question, can you give more color on investment in Greenfield in the US market? So I believe Voico answered that a few minutes ago. The next two questions, I believe we also answered. So can you quantify the impact of National Employment Agency projects and when it should be implemented? And what would be the total value in revenues coming from National Pensions House projects? I'm not sure, Bogdan, if you'd like to add something or I believe
the revenues we expect for the second part of the year, according to the current project plan, are similar to what we booked in the first half of the year.
Thank you. And could you comment on equity liabilities increase in the second half of 2025? This would be a question for Bogdan.
I'm not sure what equity liabilities.
Yes, maybe it's equity slash liabilities. Maybe if you could please clarify the question, what exactly you meant there. We'd appreciate, and we can take it next. So we can move to the next question. Follow-up question on the integration systems revenues. How much should we pencil for the second half of 2025 and the first quarter of 2026?
So second part of the 2025 I already mentioned. As for Q1 2026, I don't know the figure by heart, but it would be significantly lower compared with what we had in 2025.
Thank you. Did you try to diversify away from automotive to be involved in other industries? Do you see any new significant industry for you?
They are. I will take here. It's part of our mix, and strategic, approach. We see other industry. We are involved with them already. We have presence in at least 3 others area. One is aerospace and aeronautics. The other is consumer electronics, and the third one it's medical. So we are already in those area. Are these going to be big or we are working on them. So definitely there are different pros and cons for each industry, and we are chasing those.
Thank you, Voicu. Next question. Since about 35% of your market cap is in cash and cash equivalents, how do you manage the cash position in order to protect it from inflation? I will pass this question to Bogdan.
We try to preserve the value of the cash we raised from our shareholders for investments by keeping them in bank deposits and having a spread between the main currencies that we have. So we keep them in a balance in euro, some in RON, and a few in USD to have them ready for any new acquisition in US market.
Thank you very much. I see we do not have any more questions. This was a very good call. We really appreciate all your questions. It is indeed, it's been a busy year so far, so we appreciate you following AROBS. Next time we're going to hear each other is going to be after we publish the results for the third quarter of the year. So we are going to release the Q3 results on the 13th of November, and the teleconference is scheduled to take place on 19th of November. Before that, we hope to see some of you at the upcoming Wood Romania Investor Days that are going to be taking place at the end of September. We hope to have one-on-one meetings with you to update you on the development. Voicu and Bogdan, together with myself and my colleague Christian, will be joining the conference. So we hope to welcome you in Bucharest. We thank you all for your participation, for your questions, and as always, if you have any other questions, feel free to reach out to us at ir@arobsgroup.com. Thank you all very much, and have a great day. Thank you.